go that quickly.
You've gone from the dollar to
So let me
Macron.
just tell you. So I said, no, I'm just telling you basic, it's called the weave.
Amanda Carpenter, Trump calls it the weave, but a serious interviewer there, a lot of us struggle with, right? That he said, I asked about the Federal Reserve. You've gone from the dollar to Macron. You haven't answered the question about the Federal Reserve. This is a symptom. It's certainly not the cause. But hearing it called out that way and hearing him interrupted, I think highlights the disservice that's been done by Fox News. They have an obligation as the only people who regularly interview him to catch this stuff. Maybe they would have ended up with someone that championed all their stuff, whatever that stuff is. I guess it includes using the military against enemies within. But this is the result. This is where we are, where Trump has to be corrected again at the Economic Club by someone who says, I asked about the Federal Reserve. You've gone from the dollar to Macron. Nowhere near the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, you know, I don't feel qualified to make an assessment of his mental acuity, but I am certainly comfortable saying that this is evidence of a executive who expects to be indulged and catered to at all times. It is not used to being challenged and is used to getting free rein to go on whatever tangent that he chooses. I mean, that's clear by evidence of the rally where you're playing that tape. I mean, Nicole, the scene here is not just about Trump. It is, as David Jolly pointed out, the people who are around him and continue to indulge him. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if Kristi Noem had as much patience, say, for her pet animals as she did for Donald Trump on stage right there? I mean, it's really stunning. And that's why it's so critical to just put the statements that Trump is making, where he is, I am convinced, completely sound of mind, which would dismantle our democracy. When we're talking about the very specific 1700s laws like the Alien Enemies Act and bringing up the Insurrection Act. I mean, he knows what he's doing when he says that. And yet, the Republicans who continue to indulge him wave that away and act like he never said that or is somehow acting off the cuff. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin was asked about this over the weekend, and he just dodged and weaved, to borrow a word, and saying, like, well, I don't think he meant that. But he said it consistently over and over again. We should believe him. And the reason he is so comfortable saying these things is because there are no Republicans on stage with him who ever challenge him on it.
Carol Leonnig, I know you will not dabble into any, and none of us should. We have no idea why he did what he did. It's just important not to keep it from anybody, right? So that's why we're playing it. It's still running. We're at minute 12:51, almost 13 minutes of standing on the stage and swaying. But I went back and read from Stable Genius, your first book, right, with Phil Rucker, about the tank briefing. And some of what they locked him in there for was an education. Some of what became clear in your subsequent reporting was that he couldn't be educated because his views were more hardened than people think. Tell me your current state of understanding about the national security concerns of this Donald Trump running for the third time.
Nicole, I'm really glad that you're focusing on that issue, but especially showing how it intersects with Donald Trump, the candidate of 2024, versus Donald Trump, the president of 2020. I look back on his first administration and see all of the ways that he said exactly the same things he's saying now. He just said them privately. You know, he wanted, let's go back in time a little. In 2019 and forgive me, in 2018, 2019 and 2020, he was pressing his military officials to let him use the U.S. military, the National Guard, against the public, most notably in the wake of George Floyd's murder and the protests that rose up from that Minneapolis man's death at the hands of police. He wanted to use the power of the Department of Justice and the FBI to target people who had been political and policy enemies of his. For example, Mr. Comey.